Hi, I'm Joseph Quijano, Certified Financial Planner, and I want to welcome you to our first episode of our new series, The 6 Secrets of Accumulating Long-Term Wealth. And this is really what people need in today's economy. Don't you agree, Jordan?
I do, absolutely. So with our first episode, we're going to be talking about the mindset of money. And most people don't realize how important this is to building wealth. You can have all the great products in the world, you can have all the wonderful advisors, but at the end of the day, if you don't have the right mindset about money or about accumulating wealth, it's so hard to get ahead financially.
It is so true. And you know, we have a great saying in our company that I'm going to quote it. It says, rich people think like rich people and poor people think like poor people. Think about that. Creating wealth doesn't need to be complicated. I think people make it too complex. It doesn't need to be complicated. As a matter of fact, creating wealth takes very simple steps, very simple strategies that the wealthy have used for over 200 years. Am I right?
Absolutely. So with this next episode, please take notes, grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, and we're going to dive right in to, again, how to create the right mindset of accumulating wealth.
It all began in the early 1900s with a great economist and author by the name of Napoleon Hill. He had a book that became the bestseller in the entire world. It's called Think and Grow Rich. Again, let me put it to you this way. It's think and grow rich. So that means that whatever, and I'm going to quote him, whatever the mind can believe and conceive, it can achieve. However, though, I want to make sure that you and I really understand what he was talking about. He said, whatever the mind can believe, you have to believe it first, and you have to conceive it, meaning that you have to make it real, it can achieve. So the wealthy have always thought about being wealthy. They saw themselves as being wealthy, and they became even more wealthier. And poor people, I hate to say this, Jordan, but unfortunately, poor people don't have that mindset, do they?
Well, and honestly, it comes to where you have your thought process. If you're going to only know this much about building wealth, you're only going to achieve this much. So this whole idea and really reason why we're bringing this new series to you guys is to allow you to help expand your horizon, your knowledge on how to create more wealth, how to think like a rich person, and be able to ultimately bring that into your life. It is what we call the law of attraction, and this is the reality of it. If you can believe it, you can conceive it, and you can bring it into your life, and it's not that complicated.
Absolutely, and I'm going to give you my own personal example. I came from a very humble economic beginnings. I was born in Mexico City. My mother actually never even finished grade school. We were disadvantaged, Jordan.
Economically disadvantaged, yeah.
She gave me the greatest gift without her knowing what she was doing. She actually, every time that she put me down to take a nap, she would ask me to close my eyes and to visualize myself with a suit, a white shirt, and a tie, walking out of the door with a briefcase, getting into a brand new car, and waving to my friends goodbye. You know, what she was doing was genius. Today, psychologists are using that form of visualization to help people achieve their goals, not only financially, but every kind of goal. And she was actually helping me do that. She built a mindset for me that I saw myself. My mind began to believe it. I conceived it. And you know what? I'm blessed because I have achieved it.
And that's almost just like conditioning your mind, exercising it.
It is. Absolutely it is. And she was actually doing that without even knowing about it.
So she was conditioning your mindset almost just like an athlete. When you train to be an athlete, whether it's the NFL, the NBA, whatever sport, you don't just wake up and all of a sudden pick up a baseball bat if you're going to be in the MLB, pick up a football. and make it all the way there, you have to condition, you have to train, you have to have the mindset. And that's beautiful that your mother was teaching that at such a young age, my grandmother. And that was an ability that really, we want to help you. You have to train your mind. You have to exercise it just like you would with anything else, and realize that it is achievable. That is the number one first step, is realizing it is achievable. If anybody can do it, with my father's story, with any story you hear out there, it is achievable.
Absolutely, it is. And that's one of the things that we actually teach our clients. We want to make sure that they understand, Jordan, that they have the power to choose. You see, we have been given the greatest power in the world. All of us have the greatest power in the world. You watching this video, you have the greatest power in this world, and that is the power to choose. You can choose to be positive, or you can choose to be negative. You can choose to be rich, or you can choose to be poor. It's all about a mindset. So what are you thinking? What are you choosing? Think about that. You need to actually do some soul searching. What are you really thinking? And what are you really choosing? Don't take this lightly, please. Do not take this lightly. One of the biggest foundations to build wealth is the way we think. And actually, there was another book written. It's called As a Man Thinketh. As a Man Thinketh. And that book explains that whatever you're thinking, you're going to become.
So you're absolutely right, Dad. Ultimately, what comes down to this is human nature. I think for us, it's always easy to take the least resistant path. That's part of the human nature I'm talking about. So for us to have discipline, for us to put really steps in place, it's not that difficult, but it takes that initial hurdle to get over. There's a gentleman, actually an economist, a really well-known one. He's actually famous around the 1900 era, 1890, 1900 eras. His name is Northcott Parkinson. And really, he focused on human nature across how it affects people's financial success. That is a beautiful lesson to learn. And he came across 3 reasons why people don't achieve financial greatness, or in other words, how they fail financially. So 3 reasons. The first one is still used today, and it's called the time envelope. This is what HR departments, human resources, still use in today's world, where ultimately the study that he put in place says if you give somebody 90 days to do a job, how long is it going to take them to complete the job?
90 days.
So if we're given that time of 90 days, it's human nature to take it all the way up to that 89th day, to that 90th day, and wait for it. It's almost procrastination. So what stays open April the 15th every year?
The post office.
Why is it? Because we all procrastinate on doing our taxes. So ultimately, as he would say, if we procrastinate on building our retirement funds, we're never going to get ahead. Time is the most valuable component to any financial plan. So the longer we postpone, the longer we procrastinate, that just takes away thousands and thousands of dollars out of your retirement. And so he's got 3 reasons why people do not make it financially and fail.
Right. And they he actually named them the Parkinson's Law, the economic laws of Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And the second law, or the second reason why people don't make it financially, is because they live beyond their means. Oh, yeah. So that means, and the way he said it was beautifully said. He actually said, a luxury once enjoyed becomes a necessity. And I'm going to quote him again. He said, a luxury once enjoyed becomes a necessity.
How true is that?
Think about that. Think about that. 10 years ago, I bought a car that had heated car seats. And here in Colorado, I got to tell you something, we get some terrible winters, below 0 weather, and my wife and I love that car. Heated car seats, right? And then a year ago, I traded the car. My wife doesn't let me buy another car without him. And today, we're driving a car that has heated car seats, but also heated steering wheel and a heated console.
Oh my
so you
goodness.
don't need to have gloves to drive the car in the wintertime. Then all of a sudden, it dawned on me. It truly dawned on me. I was raised in Iowa. Iowa has some of the fiercest winters in the United States. It's humid. The cold goes right between your bones. And you know what? We had no cars with heated seats, no cars with heated steering wheels, no cars with heated consoles, and we made it.
We're here.
We're here. So to me, now, driving a car with heated car seats,
Yeah.
steering wheel, is a necessity to
Well,
me.
and I think it goes even more basic than that when you look at a cell phone. I mean, we all used to have what back then? 10 years, 15, 20 years. We used to have landlines, pagers, anything. Today, our life revolves around this little cell phone, this device. And every 5 years, every 3 years, however long you're able to keep it from breaking, we always go and buy a new one. Anybody can get caught up on this because once you enjoy a luxury, it becomes a necessity. And that goes for any means at all, just like a cell phone. The third and final law of Parkinson's study, really, is what he says, expenses rise to equal income. So in other words, expenses will rise to equal your income. Have you ever got a pay increase? A tax return? What happened to the money? That's what we're talking about here, is that money got spent on a new TV maybe, the new vacation that you guys want to take 2 weeks from now. Whatever it is, we find a really easy way to spend our money. And when you get a pay increase, when we have more money, it allows us to spend more money. So when expenses rise to equal income, it's very difficult to set money aside. Those 3 rules are what keep people from achieving financial greatness. So let's cut back on some of those areas. Let's protect not only our money, but protect the time that we have and put some money aside.
Our parents, if you look at our parents' era or our grandparents' era, if they didn't have the money, did they buy things?
No.
They didn't. And they were better off financially than what we are today.
So true.
As a matter of fact, their biggest asset, their home, was paid off. And we see people in our practice at the age of 70 refinancing their homes, and they'll never be out of debt. So Parkinson really had it perfectly nailed down, that the 3 laws to make people succeed or fail financially depend on those rules right there. 3 rules. And we're going to be sharing some of those secrets in the upcoming videos. So the 3 rules that Parkinson had that hit home even in today's world. It's right on target, isn't it?
And that was from the 1900s.
And nothing has changed.
So our goal, again, is to bring your mindset of money back down to reality. Let's not keep up with the Jones and buy the next new TV, the next new BMW. Let's start helping you guys today. And with these series, we're able to not only step into the mindset about money, but our second series is talking about the economic facts of life. Why not only the mindset of money holds us back sometimes, but also what else is holding us back that is almost against us. So the economic facts of life is going to be into our next episode, and we're looking forward to seeing you join us. So please go down in the link below, click it, like it, subscribe it, pass this information on to your family, to your children, to your friends, because really we can all learn how to take in Parkinson's Law to be in a better financial place.
And please don't forget, you have the greatest power, and that is the power to choose. So we want you to choose to think like a rich person. My name is Joseph Quijano, certified financial planner, and I'm sure glad that you're here with us.
And I'm Jordan Quijano. We thank you for your time, and we'll see you on the next episode.